Hi guys, I'm Jim from Only Slagging. I'm part of the fire squad here in Ireland. Today we're setting up the record for KJLIVE for the watch party. So what we have on are going to go on to the barbecue here today is spring lamb. So first up, what we need is some rosemary. Doesn't get much fresher than taking it from your own garden. And then we're going to need some mint. So we need plenty of mint for this. So just snip away here. Plenty of this in. So with simple root veg, onions, garlic, rosemary, mint, of course the beautiful lamb, some potatoes. Okay, so we've cleared out our firebox. I've put a small amount of charcoal here at the bottom, fairly small pieces. The ash door fully open there to maximise the amount of airflow coming through. We're going to start the Kamado Joe probably for the first 5 minutes with the lid open, and then after that we'll close it down. Okay, so we have started our fire here just using hot air. I've left this portion of the firebox completely empty here. Good airflow coming through from below up through here. That's all the fire we need to have set up here within the firebox, and that will give us plenty of time to start getting our ingredients ready as this sort of starts to catch. And once we sort of get a bit of this iced over, then we can pull this forward just when we're getting ready to want to cook. Okay, so the Kamado Joe spring lamb, what we're going to do, we're going to make up a very simple wet rub. We're going to slash a few lines into the lamb just to try and help that marinade penetrate a little bit more. Easiest rub in the world you can put together. We're going to throw everything into one blender here, mix it all up, and then apply the sort of slather all over the lamb here. So what I'm using today is rosemary. So we're going fairly heavy on the herbs. Now you've seen we cut this from the garden earlier on there. We've given it a quick wash in the kitchen and then just brought it here. Smells really fragrant, and we're just pulling all that off and getting that in, packing it in there. So you can do this a number of ways. Let me see, some of this garlic in here. So straight in, 4 big cloves of garlic. Straight in with the mint, just peeling the leaves off here. We're not wanting to use any of these stalks. And as I'm sure you're aware, we're still in lockdown here in Ireland, like most of Europe, if not all of Europe. So a lot of the ingredients we're using here today are stuff that we have in the house or around the house. So in addition to this recipe, you could add in anchovies, you could add in some of the oil of the anchovies, you could add in the zest and juice of a couple of lemons. You can really play with this, but what I'm doing today is the base rub, and then you can add that as you see fit. So we're just going to in plenty of mint. Mint and rosemary both work really well with lamb. There's a wee lone bit of garlic. Garlic's always good, so we'll throw another one in. That we want to go in probably with somewhere in the region of about 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm using kosher salt here, and I'm going to go in with a good heavy pinch of kosher salt. In fact, we'll just go a little bit more. And about half a teaspoon of black pepper. So we've got a nice half pinch in there. So we don't have any lemons. So what we're going to use today is a local rapeseed oil that's infused with lemon oil. So we're just going to add that in. Good generous glug of the oil in there, and we're going to give this a quick blitz. Look for the consistency of it, and then I'll show you what that's going to be like once we get done there. So if you come a bit closer, you can see, so it's fairly wet. We want it to be a little bit more runny than that, so we're going to go in with a bit more oil. And it's probably better to err on the side of caution with the oil at the start, and then just keep adding it in as you require it. So that's what I'm looking for there. nice and sort of wet, not too runny, not too thick, and that sort of consistency. So still some large pieces in there, but it'll not matter. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a couple of slices into the lamb. So just going reasonable thickness, not too thick, just getting through that outer sort of fat cap of the lamb, just to help some of this marinade penetrate and get right into the meat there. So we're going to keep some of this marinade, and we'll use some of this marinade throughout the cook to baste it on the lamb. So all we're going to do is just add some of this on here now. That'll do, and that should be plenty there to keep for when we're putting it on. And we're just slathering it all nice and thick over the top of the lamb. We're going to transfer this to the fridge and then let it sit in the fridge for approximately anything up to sort of 2-3 hours. Okay, so the racks are in. All we're going to do now is close the lid, flip the daisy wheel on top, get that temperature rising a little bit more. We're going to aim for around 180 to 200 degrees Celsius, and this will start to climb. And once we get to about 180, I'm going to close this down and start controlling my vents back down again to get us locked in at that 180 to 200 degrees. All I'm going to do now is spread some of these coals across the base of our Kamado Joe. So there's still plenty of charcoal in there, still enough for us to complete this cook. So we're just going in with our veggie pan here on the accessory rack beneath. This is where we're going to cook our veg, and then our lamb's going to sit on the rack immediately above this. So we don't need to go too heavy with the goose fat, because there is going to be lots of fat from the lamb coming out on it. So we're just going in with a wee touch just there to coat the bottom of the pan and get the veggies going. Temperature there now, you can just maybe hear, well, apart from that dove above us, you can hear the veggies are starting to brown up there, and so they're starting to sizzle away. The lamb has been marinating now for about an hour and a half actually, so we're going to set that straight in over the top. And then this is going to roast here indirect the whole time above this cast iron pot, and as I said, it's going to drip down into the veggies here below. Okay, so we're going to have a wee look now and see how the lamb's coming on. Not too bad. What we're going to do is move the lamb off to one side here, just so we can get in, lift one of the grates out and turn some of the vegetables here. We'll do that on both sides, and then we'll crack on that. Just moving that over to one side. Lift that one up. Bit of multitasking here. Turn some of the veggies over. Okay, our lamb's been on for probably just over an hour now. Veggies and all have come along. So what we have done halfway through the cook is we moved the lamb out to one side. We've turned some of the veggies round, and we've rotated the lamb round one more time. So I'm just checking on my thermopen here now. So in around the centre, we're sitting around 56. So I aimed for around sort of 55 to 60. I'm on a medium sort of lamb. So at some parts down, the smaller parts here, we're going up to 73. Sort of in around 55 in the majority of it. So I still want to be nice and pink in the middle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lift the lamb off and leave it in the wee tray here and let it rest. So I'll just lift that off to one side. What we're also going to do is we will lift some of our veggies out. So I want the potatoes just to stay on for a little bit longer. So they're coming along there nicely, but we'll lift some of the carrots and root veg out. And then what we'll do is we will leave ourselves with a little bit more space in here just to get some of those potatoes spread out a little bit more. The onions, I've done them in the skins. So all I did was cut them in half, left the roots and stuff on, but as they've cooked, all this lovely sweet onion from the inside is what we're after here. So they've actually been protected during the cook by the skins against the cast iron. So we don't need to worry about those bits. I'm going to lift that pan out now. And I'll move it to the top rack. So if you want to have a quick look in there quickly, there's a small amount of charcoal left, but still enough to do the cook we need to do. Part of the joy about the ceramic cooker that we have here is that it retains a lot of heat in the ceramic outside of it. So even though the charcoal drops down, we still have plenty of heat here to continue on with our cook. Okay, so it's been sitting resting, just lifting the lamb off now. And we'll just do a quick carve here onto the board. So can you see that okay? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're wanting it to be reasonably pink on the inside. My carving skills aren't brilliant. So you can see there, still nice and pink on the inside. Need to practice on my carving skills, but we're getting there. So a bit of rosemary on there just to finish it off. So that's us there today. Spring lamb on the Kamado Joe, roasted veg, cast iron pot beneath it, and then we have a little bit of lamb gravy we've made up here. And I will admit we made the lamb gravy in the house, we didn't make it on the barbecue. But she's just going on a little bit of lamb gravy over the top of the lamb.